Hey, hello world. I felt inspired to make a small movie, an introduction about the structure of reality, also how Bashar describes it, and many manifestors, deliberate manifestors use as well. I personal myself too. If you are curious about learning to deliberate manifest your desires in the most easiest and fun way, I do start with new groups in January, so if you're curious about that, don't hesitate to shoot me a message. And let's have a look at the structure of reality. So this is the structure of the reality. This is the physical plane, the 3D plane, where we experience our 3D world, the earth, so to speak. There's also non-physical part, and let's dive in a little bit deeper in how we manifest our physical reality. So according to manifesting programs, we say what we believe is what we see reflected in the reality. So how does it really work, right? So we have an ego structure that identifies with who you are. So I am Sjoerd at this moment, or I identify myself with Sjoerd, but actually I'm much bigger than Sjoerd. There's only part of me that identifies himself with Sjoerd. So where I'm going with that is that I also have a non-physical part. That's what we call a higher mind. Some people call it God, some people call it, intuition or something like that. This is actually a voice within us that speaks to us at any given moment. What is the most highest excitement thing to do at any given moment? And also speaks to us in terms of intuitive ideas, intuitive images, through here, imagination, that help us to navigate in what we like to manifest in our 3D experience. Not so much that we become a fuller version if we manifest it, but it is of that become having more, but more that we become a fuller version by having the road that leads to that. So how do we change the physical experiences around us to our benefit, right? So the physical experiences consist of imagination and the physical mind. These together creates the physical experience. So the physical mind is consisting out of the higher 3D density and the lower 3D density. So the higher 3D density is not something that we can really work on, because that's already been given, right? That includes time, includes gravity. You need to you need to eat food and so on. And on an individual level, there are certain patterns in you you're not going to change in this lifetime. Let's say, you're a woman, or you have certain habits that belong to you and it identifies you, right? But we can change the lower 3D density, and that consists out of your beliefs, emotions, and thoughts. And this ego structure, so to speak, consists out of a conscious, it is French, but excuse me for that, and a subconscious, also unconscious pattern. And most of it is unconscious. So what we manifest in the 3D is mostly unconscious, because this one is the conscious plus the unconscious, and as we said, this plus this is, this plus this is making this. So if we want to change something in the physical plane to our benefit, it's not so much about doing the work in the physical plane, although we can follow in our highest excitement, but not from a really resistant effort place. Most of the work is done by changing the ego structure. And how do we change that ego structure? Because most is unconscious, right? It's by following our highest excitement and following our passion and our desired version. Bring that to the present, and what happens, we create life circumstances in the days that show proof that we're manifesting to that vibration, but also negative emotion that prove where we're not at frequency yet. And that's an interesting thing to explore, which a lot of people do not fully integrate, is that the negative things you manifest here in the 3D hold in gold, because these hold in emotions, negative emotions or negative thoughts that help us to reveal a core belief that wants to be acknowledged, in here, acknowledged and released in function to our desired version. So when we start to say that whatever we start to manifest in the 3D is in function towards our imaginated version, we can do so-called belief shifting. So this is a large part of a program that I'm doing, learning to shift the beliefs and emotions that come up during the days in function to where you want to go, right? So how do you navigate in the physical plane, because the physical mind thinks it knows the path here, right? But the physical mind doesn't know that. The physical mind is not designed to figure something out how it should unfold the next day. It could imagine how it could, you could imagine what you will be doing, but in the end you do not really know. So that's not a task for physical mind. It will just exhaust you, because you will be doing from an effort-based and often fear-based outcome. So what do you do in the 3D during the day? You're following up your higher self, and the higher self communicates with your highest excitement every given moment to you, and by the actions you take in the physical plane, you go for a coffee, you meet some people, you do some work, you encounter life circumstances that brings up these emotions, and this is actually the higher self that is creating these life circumstances to help you to reveal where you want to change something, or where the coincidence happening in order to materialize your imaginated version. So this is in a super short nutshell an explanation about how the persona is constructed, and what is the task of the higher mind and the physical mind, and how you can really change your whole identity. It's not, you're not who you think you are, because what you think you are is something that you can observe, and what you can observe is what you can change. So right now I identify myself with Sjoerd, with a coach that lives in France, but I can change that, and I can create a whole other, almost another identity. I do know that I'm Sjoerd, but other than that, I can make a lot of changes in how I perceive reality. And everybody has this function. And the best thing to do in reality is to follow your higher self that has a dream with you, and with integrity, a dream with you to manifest. And if you follow that, you become a fuller version and a happier version. And if you understand the structure of reality on a deeper level, the unfolding of life would be one of ease, relaxation, and fun. And yeah, that's one of the most added values to manifesting programs as I teach. So if you're ever interested in something like that, shoot me a message. We start in January. And take care, follow your highest excitement as always. So if it's not meant to be for you, it's not meant to be for you. And have a wonderful weekend. Ciao.